What up, girlies? Welcome to Cam Girl Diaries. I am not your host today. Today's host is Luscious Leisha. She was actually in a few episodes back. She's interviewing Alyssa, Miss Winters. Both of their links are in the description. You want to check them out and everything. But yeah, Alyssa is a cam girl gilf. She makes her living off of camming. I think it's Streamate. So both their links are in description. If you want to get exclusive content, those links are in the description. Everything you could imagine is in the description because I go buck wild on links. I fucking, I'm all about links and shit. So go check out the links in the description. So I'm going to shut the fuck up. We're going to go right into the conversation where Alyssa is explaining how she got into camming during the pandemic. So I'll shut up and enjoy the episode.
2020 with the pandemic and everything,
Yes.
Stuff got a little bit weird. Weird with being in healthcare, which I was wanting to leave anyways.
Right. So
I approached the person I was dating at that time with some ideas.
Yeah.
And I got no hassle about it, and
Nice. That's always good.
so I dove back in, and I went right through the same site that I was on before, and I just kind of re-upped.
That's awesome.
Back. So
Nice. So when you first started, did you have a couples account, or you always been solo?
I've always been solo.
Yeah. And do you ever stream with anyone else?
I haven't.
No. You ever think about trying it?
I have thought about it. My lifestyle with family and friends and boyfriends, I don't think that I'm going to go in that direction. But
More of a solitary type girl, huh?
yeah, definitely.
So Streamate, is it like good money for you on there? Like, would you suggest like Streamate as a site for like a new beginning cam girl?
Okay. Actually, I have always done really well on Streamate. It's one of the reasons I stick around there, and I felt safe enough to leave my healthcare job 2 years ago. So I've been doing strictly Streamate for 2 years now, plus a little bit of side gigs, which are just just a little bit of money here and there.
Exactly.
I'm working with somebody right now who is interested, and she's trying to get into Streamate. So I actually do think it is beneficial.
Nice. And you can get referrals for other models signing up, right?
I suppose that I do, but I haven't really looked into that. I don't know. I just met this wonderful woman. She's got an Onlyfans page, and she's looking for another way to go. And we've been talking about what I've been doing, so she's looking at it.
That's awesome. So you're kind of helping her along there.
Mm-hmm.
That's cool. I have a friend that just got into like OnlyFans and stuff, and he's like, I want to stream. There's so much to learn. There's always something to learn, And he's like, Tell me everything. I'm like, do you have a month or two? Because it took me like 2 years to figure out everything,
For sure. I'm still learning. I mean, there's so much with the technology and everything that I'm like, sometimes I don't even bother. I'm just like, I'll stay in my little space right here, and I'm good.
I'm the same. I am not tech savvy. Thank God for YouTube tutorials, because they help me a lot.
Yeah.
Because I just turned 40, and it's like, I don't really know any of this stuff.
For me, coming in my 50s,
Yeah, really?
So.
I wouldn't have even asked that. Wow. Yeah. You look good, smoking.
Thanks. Yeah, my 55th birthday was in February a couple months ago. So.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you an Aquarius?
Yep.
Yes, very nice. So in Streamate, I know in the industry, like on Chaturbate and stuff, we use like hashtags. Do you guys use hashtags over there?
I don't personally use hashtags.
So you're kind of like, you're in the GILF category then, aren't you?
I very well could be.
I think you are, because I think like 40 to 50 is still.
Yeah, I am. I do believe I've been told that I've been found in the GILF category.
That's awesome though. That's really hot, because there's a lot of hot grandmas out there,
Yeah, definitely. Grandmas are getting hotter than they ever were.
It's a huge thing right now. A little bit bigger than MILFs right now. So.
Yep.
So do you think you're looking like to stream like to cam like for a long-term goal? Is that something you still want to keep doing?
Yeah, as a matter of fact, this is just really who I am. Like I really enjoy what I do.
Yeah. I get that.
Yeah, and I'm looking for how I can incorporate my mainstream side personality in with that side and kind of bring my two personalities
That's
together.
hard.
My health and wellness and that, and just I'm diving into having fun with the streaming. And
yeah, and it definitely, I would say it takes like, you have to have a certain personality, like you said. Like I'm super open, super sexual, always been that way.
yeah.
Like I enjoy this stuff. And people are like, you do that for a living? I'm like, yeah, I do. They're like, how? I'm like, I've always talked like this. People think like, wow, you really said that? You're probably the same way, aren't you?
Yeah, definitely. You know, I like to joke is like back in the late 80s, early 90s, you probably could have caught me on one of those 1-800 sex chat lines, you know, chatting people up. And
exactly.
You know, I'd put classifieds in looking for, you know, side jobs, and I would get all kinds of perverts calling just for fun. And I was just like, I don't even know, you know, it's fun.
Yeah, it definitely is. But yeah, it definitely takes a certain kind of person to do this. And I know what you're saying, like trying to incorporate yourself into this life. It's kind of hard. Do you use like, I know some cam girls will be themselves, some others make up a whole new persona. What works for you?
It's kind of a mix. It really is. It's definitely, my cam girl persona is definitely a little more extreme than I am. But it's definitely very close to who I am.
Yeah, I know a lot of girls will go in there as a totally different person. Yeah. Like they're totally different. That's nothing you do. You kind of go in kind of half and half.
Just I do. I use my own personality and my strengths in there, and I do try to remember. You know, I'm also.
Yeah. Kind of where you have like you have some long-term clients. Do you have like people that have been coming to you for a long time?
I have. As a matter of fact, I have guys that remember me from when I was camming in 2012, 2013, Crazy. Who find me now, and they're like.
It's like, wow, you really remember me? That happened to me too. But
it's crazy. There's a couple of them I just like, oh my god, because they were.
Yep. Yeah, they have the imprint on you. But just with like those kind of clients, it's hard not to tell them all the details about your life, isn't it? I have a hard time with it.
Tell me about it.
It's like, where do you draw the line? So I guess maybe that's some advice to give beginner cam girls. Like
you got to have boundaries. You got to really stick to your boundaries. You got to be ready because they are going to work you. They will definitely try to get, get into your information.
They do, and they will try their hardest, and you have to stay strong with those boundaries. You have to have
definitely.
What kind of rules do they have on Streamate? Like, you're not obviously. What are you allowed to do on there? Like with fetishes?
So they do have some pretty strict codes of conduct, right? Yeah. So I get a lot of people requesting things like race play. Yeah. Obviously that's way out the door. Not even something I'm interested in. It's been interesting finding the things that I am comfortable playing. Because there's been a couple of different times where it's just like, I don't know if that really sat right with me. And I'm like, okay, well, that's not right for me. So I just,
never do it again.
Yeah, exactly. Most common is ask for the mom role play and stuff.
Yeah. And
I really enjoy role play. I have a lot of fun with it.
Me too. I found out, like, saying you find out different characteristics that you have, I can tell a really good story. How about you?
Yeah. There's times I walk, the show is over and I just am like, I'm like giddy because I think it went just incredibly fun and like ad-libbing is like, like, I can't believe that came out of me.
Oh, I know. I was like, wow, I should have recorded that. I could have used it for stuff. So have you done anything like off Streamate? Any other platforms, like anything like Sex Panther or anything like that?
I haven't. Once again, OnlyFans is the only other place that I've been putting my stuff, and that's really new and trying to figure that out. Yeah. I have been listening to Gary for a minute and curious about some of the other places that girls are out there at because I could use a little more.
Yeah, and there's a lot. There is a lot. And it's like, which one do you choose from? I know I'm looking for a secondary one now too, and I'm like, oh my gosh, there's just so many out here. It's like, what do you choose from? Do you stay where you're comfortable, or did you embrace the uncomfortable zone,
Right. I think you got to know where you're at in the process. Definitely.
Mm-hmm. So are you currently dating, married, single?
I am dating somebody. Yeah. Yes.
How is that going? Are they cool with the whole camming thing?
So it was interesting because when we first met, I was you know, I was like, I don't know, you know, I'm not just gonna tell the person right off the bat, you know. So
Right.
as it's progressing, I'm going, okay, now when? You know, shit.
You're gonna tell him.
Yeah, when I finally did tell him, he was like, I had a feeling something was that. He was like,
Really?
"Oh,
Did he expect that? Was he surprised?
I was surprised that he was cool with it. He was a little more relaxed about it than I expected him to be. So, and
Cool.
he kind of had me pegged already.
Yeah, definitely. You have that vibe, you know. He's like, I know what she does.
Yeah.
Has he ever asked you to do like stuff, like content together or anything? You ever thought about doing
No,
that
he
for
hasn't.
OnlyFans?
No.
No. Would you?
With him I would.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
It's hard to find the right person because most people, when they hear you're a cam model or what you do, they're like, okay, you got to quit that. And you're like, no, it's not.
Yeah, there's a lot of jealousy and stuff like that, and they have to be pretty secure in themselves to be able to handle it.
Exactly. So probably like on Streamate. So when people come in the room, you sit there and just, you have a public chat, or is it just like all private?
So it starts out as a public chat. You know, everybody's kind of in the public area,
Right.
and I know that there's even an area where they're kind of watching it, but they're not visible to me in my room.
Cool.
And then there's the private and exclusive that they can go into. So private can be several different people watching, and exclusive is just one-on-one.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. And do you set like your own like dollar amounts on there, or does the site do that?
Absolutely.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, they changed it. For a long time you could only charge, I can't say, I don't remember what the highest amount was. You could only go so far in the choices of payments, but they increased it to like you can charge up to $15.99 a minute now.
Damn. That's good.
Yeah.
That's real good. That's a lot better than a lot of the other sites. Because I know some nights I walk off Chaturbate, you know, being a token site, only making like $15 after like 3 hours if it was a bad night. And I was like, oh God. So that's really good. So that's definitely a positive.
Yeah.
Positive about that.
Yeah.
How about anybody like ever become super obsessed with you?
Yeah.
Stalker?
Yeah, I might have a couple of those.
Yeah. Do you use a VPN when you stream?
Say again?
Do you use a VPN when you stream?
I really could. Yeah, exactly. See, I don't know what I got on my computer, but I'm doing the best I can.
Yeah.
I could definitely use more education in that area. So.
Yeah. I'm the same as you. Like, I really don't know what's going on with the internet. I don't. So like VPNs sometimes, like, I know they disguise your IP address. That's definitely a good thing for someone to look into. You have to pay for them per month, but then some of the sites, like I have trouble with mine on Chaturbate. It won't let me use it and be on there at the same time. So I'm like, okay, that's the reason why I got it. So yeah, that's definitely a good safety issue. Anybody like ever like do you meet anybody? Have you ever met anybody?
I haven't.
No. Never would think about it doing it probably.
There are a couple I definitely would like strongly considering, but I was just like boundaries. Once I do that, am I crossing my boundaries? And
and it's scary. You know, it is really scary. You don't know what's going to happen.
You don't know. Safety is my number one priority.
And that should be everyone's number one priority when you're coming into the industry. So how did you, let me see. If you're like sitting in a room, there's nobody there. You have like a couple people hanging out. They don't have to talk, right? They can just hang out and watch.
Yeah, absolutely.
What do you do in your room do you get up and clean?
I tend to, I'll read, I'll look at my phone sometimes. I try not to do that too much. I'll get up, move around. I'm singing. I'll kind of lay back. So, you know, I'm here, but then again, there's times where it just gets really just too slow. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to get out of here for a minute and come back. So,
yeah. It's like, okay, I'm talking to myself too much.
Yeah.
You know,
I do but there's always somebody in there. There's always somebody down they're watching, but not in your room. You know, they're possible members or something. Yeah. And I'll address them. I'll just say, I call them peanut gallery. Like, hey, peanut gallery.
That's cool. So does your family know about what you do or anything? No. They never ask or anything? Or what do you say?
Well, sure, they ask, but
what do you say? You're an entertainer?
No, no. I'm a personal trainer and a health coach. That's my side gig. So that's
nice.
That's all they need to know.
Oh my gosh, that'd be like a good niche for you. Do you have a niche on your show currently? Like anything you're into, like cosplay or anything like that?
I don't at the time. I don't right now. No, I'm working on something. To be quite honest, I do have something.
When you said that, I thought you could probably work that personal trainer shit right in there.
Yeah,
that could be like a whole new thing. You know,
there's been a few times where I've had somebody come into my room and they literally just want to do a workout challenge.
Really?
Yes.
Actually, honestly, I don't even think that's a thing right now. You might be onto something.
Where he's like, all right, what are we doing? I'm like, all right, I'll get my weights and bicep curls, and we just go until one of us gives up. And then the next person picks it. It was great. I did that a couple of times. I loved it.
That is cool. I have never heard of that. I gotta say, that's probably one of the coolest things I've heard. Like, you could definitely do a new genre. You could be like camming, exercise camming, something like that. If it's a new whole, that'd be really cool. You definitely should do that.
Yeah, I'm figuring it out. I actually have taken a step back from my pushing in one direction so that I could focus more here, because this is what gets my giddies up, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, it's fun. It's definitely, it gets you going. And when it makes you happy, like when you're happy to go to work, that's what really matters.
Absolutely.
There's such a stigma in the industry, but it's like, it's a regular job just like everyone else does, and if it makes you happy, then do it. Go for it,
Yep.
What do you think you would say you like least about being a cam girl?
Oh, being in my room. Being in my room and not moving around enough. So I do get a little bit stagnant, and I need to kind of really move around. So
and that's when you put the exercise in there, right?
Yeah, definitely.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Do you use any I'm not sure if Streamate has like Lovin's or Oh My Bod. Do you use any?
Yes, they do. Yes.
Cool. What do you use?
Yeah, the first couple of years I was back on, I was like, that's not me. And I'd be looking, and I was like, I don't think that's me. I don't think that's me. Then I'd look, I'm thinking, looks kind of fun. I wonder what it'd be like. So for my birthday, I kind of was like, I indulged and I invested, and it's been fantastic. It's actually
nice.
It's been really good for me. It's actually given me more energy in the room than not having it. I was more, I don't know how to explain it, but I was just way more tired after camming beforehand. And I don't know. Anyways.
What do you use?
I am using the Lovin's Earthquake, I think it's called.
What is that one?
It's
do you have it?
Say again?
Do you have it near you?
I think it is.
Let's look at it.
Yeah.
I'm interested now. I never heard about that one.
So it's kind of a dual-headed clitoris and then G-spot. So
that's way better. I have the Lush, and like it's dying. Like it's been almost 2 years, but I think I want to get that one next.
Yeah, it's a little. I don't know what the other ones are like, but it's a little bulky. So you have to,
the other.
But it does. It stretches out. It moves. It bends, so it can be fit to
No way.
So.
Yeah, they're all bulky. That's the one thing about Lovin's I don't really like, because like I don't know, mine's right here, but the end of mine, like it goes in, it's really bulky, but then the end sticks out like this long. It's really long. I feel like I've got something attached to me, but it's like they need to like hone that down a little bit, but their toys are amazing.
Yeah, definitely. I agree.
Any other ones that you're thinking about getting or on your wish list?
Well, I was thinking about getting one that's a little smaller, but I don't, just because of the bulk factor. And I want to, I've been considering doing some outdoor camming. And I was like, awesome. They have the thing on. I've got a spot I can work outdoors now. So
sweet. So you're all set up for it.
Yeah.
Now, does Streamate make you get stuff like that approved to go outside?
Not that I know of.
Really? Yeah, just check on that. I know Chaturbate's weird like that. Like if I want to go outside, I have to get the venue approved.
Okay.
I don't know.
It's private property, so.
Yeah, I know. I'm like, so is mine. I'm like, okay.
I'll look into it. Thanks for the heads up on that.
Yeah, no problem. So do you have any niches or anything? I mean, what do you wear when you go on?
I love lingerie. I'm a lingerie girl. Mostly wear lingerie, so I'll have a baby doll on or a teddy and that sort of thing. But a few times I'll just go on with a tank top.
Nice. That's cool.
Leggings. They love leggings for some reason.
Oh my gosh. Me too. I actually found out this, you can like weave clothing. I found this out. Like I just did my leggings the other day. Like you should do that. It's so super fun. I'll have to show you how to do it sometime. It's really fun. How would you say, like when you first started, was it really slow for you?
Yeah, it was definitely not as fast paced as it is now. I would
Yeah.
definitely agree.
Yeah.
When I first started, I was really a Friday, Saturday night
Mhm.
consistently, usually after 10 p.m. So it was a
Yeah.
different crowd then as well, than the daytime crowd.
Yeah. So you think there's more people like in the daytime? You think?
Um, Not necessarily. Not
No.
necessarily. Just a
Yeah.
different vibe in the daytime.
So when you first started, Kimmy, I know what like anybody starts, it's like you don't really know what to do. Like, how did you increase your income over time? Did you add certain things in like you would do? Certain things you do with toys or anything?
Yeah, just really when it comes down to it is making sure I was communicating with my fans more, finding out about getting the pictures uploaded
Mhm.
and being more active that way,
Right.
and spending a little bit more time in front of the cam. And
Yeah.
yeah, the Lush definitely helps.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, once you can, do you get like you don't get tokens. So when they, because like on Chaturbate, when they tip you with Lush, like it has a little thing that pops up on the screen. It shows you. How do you know like who is it coming from? Do they have like a little thing that,
It'll show who sent the
oh,
tip.
that's cool.
Yeah.
Nice. So how many people do you say like you have in your room on this, let's say you're camming tonight or today, how many people do you usually have in your room?
Oh, geez, I don't have a full room, in my opinion. I could have 6 or 8 people typically.
Right. Nice.
Sometimes it gets really full. In my opinion, really full to me is more than 15.
Yeah.
It's a
I
lot
would
of
say
people to be talking to and trying to pay
it
attention to.
is.
And then
It
I'll
is.
see down in the peanut gallery, I could have 15 to 20 people down in the peanut gallery as well. So
Yeah. See, I'm like that too. I don't get like a ton of people, but I always go with a quantity over quality, but quality
yeah.
over quantity, you know?
Yep. Yep.
And it's
I really
hard.
think your attitude when you go into it also really helps because I've been kind of negative in the past and I'll go in
Yes.
and if it's slow, I'm like, oh my God, it's slow. Oh my God, it's slow. And I
Yeah.
start thinking it's slow and it just kills the whole thing. So
Yeah, you have to. I notice that with me. If I'm feeling really crappy all day and I'm like, oh, in a bad mood, I won't go on because I'm mean.
Mhm.
Like, I'll get mean. Like, oh, like, why? You need a tip for that. Don't ask. I'm like, why? Oh, at least come on. Like, you need to get off this. Yeah, you can't go on. Definitely you cannot go on with a bad attitude because it's not going to bring the right people either.
Right, exactly.
So we covered your period. You still get your period?
I do.
You do. What do you do during that time of the month? Do you cam still and just do penetration?
For a long time, I would take some time off
Yeah.
and just back off during that time.
Yeah.
But I've gotten to the point where it's not a big deal, and
Yeah.
I've been managing to
Yeah.
stay
It
on during
happens.
that time. So
Yeah. I know a lot
there's
of
times where
people.
you just wait and
Yeah.
but yeah, you can pull it out. It can be done. It can be
It can.
done.
It definitely
Yeah.
can. It definitely
Yeah.
can. And as long as people understand, it's a
Mhm.
no penetration show or whatever for that reason,
Yeah.
like it's cool. But
Yep.
yet again, it comes down to talking about things. Like certain people can talk about these types of things, people, you got to be okay with that.
Exactly. Exactly.
So where do you cam? Do you cam like in your bedroom, you said, all the
This
time?
is it. This is
Yeah.
it. So I'm in my bedroom. Sometimes I'll hit the living room, but that takes a whole, different setup and making sure
Yeah.
there's not too many neighbors home and that sort of thing.
Yeah. Yeah, it's hard to find that space, especially like if you live in a small place or whatever. It's hard. You definitely have to have a dedicated space.
Yep.
So what do you use for like equipment like to cam with? Do you use any lights or anything?
Okay, I do have a standard ring light,
Mhm.
and I did purchase for a long time. I just used the computer's camera
Yeah.
on my laptop, and that's how I streamed the first couple of years.
Yeah.
But I had just like I'd put a lamp like in front of me, kind of. It was really very rudimentary the first few years.
I know. I
But
remember when I
now
first
I've got
started.
a ring
Same.
light. I've got a webcam that I've attached and a microphone as well, so I
Yeah.
have some plug and play with that, and it's definitely upped my my game a little bit with that.
Yeah. Yeah. That definitely, the webcam makes a huge difference. I started like that too with just my laptop, and I put it on the other day and I was like, wow, I'm glad I upgraded.
Yeah,
So
definitely.
any specific like model you use for your webcam?
Oh Lord, have mercy.
It's right there.
Nexigo, and what do I have over here for the Nexigo for the
Nice.
webcam? It's
And
just
that's
a
pretty decent. Works
yeah.
good.
It has been, yeah, it has been really easy to use, which is what I needed.
Yeah. I know a lot of people use the Logitechs. They're so expensive, but I mean, they're nice. I'd love to get one. Lovins, do you see Lovins' camera that just came out?
I didn't.
It's weird. You should look. It's actually cool, but it's like $400 or something. But it sits on top of your computer, and it's motion. It's AI, whatever that is, motion activated. So it'll show it. If when you move, it goes up and follows you.
See, I'm actually looking for a camera that will do that. So
yeah, Lovins has one on their website. You should log in and check it out. It just came out, and I know a couple cam models use it, and they said it's pretty cool. But I've never seen one that does that. It's really cool.
Yeah.
That would probably increase your game too, you know.
I would think so, because I want to go over, in this area and dance around and stuff like that. If I could just not have to move everything all the time, it'd be great.
It's definitely a cool thing. So are you on any socials or anything like that besides OnlyFans? Are you on Twitter or anything like that?
I did put up a Twitter page, but I've never maintained it, and I do have the Instagram account.
So you really don't do a lot of social media then?
Right. I didn't do a lot of social media when I first started. No, I was just
it's a lot of time.
Streamate and just hanging out there and making money and taking care of business there. And I'm like, well, okay, so how do I,
A lot of people under the impression that you cannot be a successful cam model and not have social media.
Yeah.
Obviously.
No, you can. You can.
Obviously. Yes.
You can.
This is true. So, I mean, I guess coming into the game, if that's something that somebody's scared of and putting that they don't want to do it because they can't keep up on social media, you don't really need it. As long as you have those customers and you have that, you're out there.
Honestly, if you go into Streamate, I know that once you start, they're going to put you up as a new model.
Yes.
That alone is going to get you traffic.
Yeah.
Then those people are going to become they'll either like you and start following you, and they'll pop back in when you come back on if they like you. And so once that happens,
first time you're new. Yeah. Don't they give you like a week's time frame on Streamate to be new?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's when you cam. Like, get out there.
Yep, exactly. That's when you just let everybody know who you are.
Yeah, exactly. So what would you say, like, your do's and don'ts of camming? Like, what's some advice? Something you said, well, not advice. Let's say something you would really say is a must that you have to do to be a successful cam girl.
So to be a successful cam girl, you have to be present. You've got to put the time in if you want to be a successful cam girl.
Yeah. And
you have to really communicate with your clientele as well. A little bit of sending out messages is a good thing. Yeah. Really helpful.
Kind of have to act like they're there in the room with you, like any other job. I know a lot of girls don't. Like you said you're anti phone, right? When you're on. So are you kind of you said you don't pick up your phone a lot when you're on, right?
Yeah, I try really hard. If somebody comes in and I'm scrolling through my phone, I'll put it right down. Yeah, right? Or I'll say, hey, I'm fixing my music. I'm here. I'm paying attention. I'm going to put my phone down. I do that communication. I try really hard not to be
that's great.
There.
I think that is a super positive thing. That's what I do. Like, I refuse to be on my phone. Like, someone will go by my Snapchat script and they'll be like, oh, go check. I'm like, well, I'm kind of working right now, so I'll check after the show. I just think it's really distracting. I don't know, and rude kind of. I guess I'm old school that way.
Definitely.
Not to be on your phone, but
think about it. Everybody's out there nowadays always looking at their phones, right?
Yes.
Those guys are coming in. They want to communicate. They kind of want to have an interaction with you.
Yeah.
They probably already deal with somebody looking at their phone a lot.
Exactly. Yeah, and it's to me, phones are very impersonal. The cool thing about camming, is they get to come in and they get to kind of make you their girlfriend in a way, and you want to be present. So that's awesome advice. I love that. Do you offer anything like GFE, like JoyViz, girlfriend experience, anything like that as custom? Do you any custom?
I was considering doing the girlfriend experience when I was working with with OnlyFans, but yeah, I've considered it. I'm like, how does that work exactly? It's like, how much time do I put into that, and what kind of equipment do I need? I don't want to be using my phone. How would that work?
Right. Yeah, it's a girlfriend experience. You can do any amount of days, but are you on Reddit at all?
I signed up. I have a Reddit account. The reason I signed up is because somebody made a Reddit account with my pictures from my Instagram page. And I found out because one of my fans came into my room and said, hey, I've been seeing you all over the internet. I've seen you on Reddit. Yeah. Aren't you on Reddit? I'm like, no.
Man, that's one of the things too. Like when you're out there camming, is you got to understand that when you do this, you're going to be everywhere.
It's going to happen.
Everywhere. And you run across that risk all the time, people stealing your stuff.
Yep.
But Reddit, I would say, if you have any questions, or I could help you, like after the show, I've done it a lot. A girlfriend experience, it's cool. Like they want you to be their girlfriend for a little while. I've made a lot of money doing that.
Definitely. I'd love to chat about that.
Definitely a good thing to introduce. Yep. Yeah. Anything else like custom content you would say you've done before?
Oh, geez. So when it comes down to it, what I consider myself is an orgasmic meditation practitioner. So nice. They have the option to request a 15-minute flat out, just watch me stroke my pussy video.
Nice.
So,
that's different. I like that.
But I also will absolutely do joy videos and all that other sort of stuff that I enjoy. So absolutely. But
I know.
But my niche is like, I'm an orgasmic meditation practitioner. I don't know if you've ever heard of OM or orgasmic meditation.
I mentioned the Shakti Tantra.
Yeah.
So yeah, I love meditation. It's my thing. Awesome. I really like that. That's really original. You don't see that. You don't see that out there. So that's awesome. You got some good shit going for you. Definitely. Definitely. I think the weirdest thing, like, I never knew what CEI meant. Do you know what that means?
You know what? When it comes down to it, I always ask. I'm like, you know what? That's a new one for me. What is that? You know, I always ask. So yeah, I've learned.
Yeah, I know. Someone was, me too. When I first started in the industry, I was like, what's BBW? Like, I didn't know anything. I was always looking things up, but that's where the internet, like in Reddit, even like I don't know how to work Reddit at all. I've tried, I'm on there, but I just don't know how to post because I'm always like getting booted out for certain things. Yeah. So I just look at the advice, but there's a lot of stuff out there.
Yeah.
So what advice do you think would be the best? Like, what would you say to new cam girls that are going into the industry and they want to make this, you know, either for survival sex work or just they want to, like, how are they going to be successful, do you think?
Well, it's attitude, right? It's definitely going in with a positive attitude, being confident in who you are, knowing that there's somebody out there definitely is going to like what you've got, because there's somebody out there for everyone. There really is.
Yeah.
There's such a wide range of likes out there. You're going to have somebody who's going to really like what you're doing, big time. And, oh boy, what were we saying? Advice, boundaries. Know what your boundaries are, what you're willing to do, and don't let anybody talk you into doing something that you're not comfortable with.
Exactly. Yeah. I love that. Boundaries, that should be like the first and foremost. Absolutely. Besides like safety. Boundaries, you have to have them, or you're just gonna get walked all over. You know, and you can't.
Just because some other girl's doing it in another room, you don't have to do that.
Exactly.
Be yourself.
So you kind of got to know yourself before you're.
Oh, you do. It is best to know yourself. I would absolutely
agree. You're be all over the place. You're going to be doing, weird role play sessions and normal ones, and then, I don't know. I forgot what I was going to just ask you. You like to role play, so you dirty talk really good, right?
I've been improving, I think. Yeah, and like I said, with all the dirty talk I did on, the 800 lines back then, I have a little bit of
Yeah. So say if somebody was just getting into like dirty talk sexting, what advice would you give them? Like how could they figure out how to talk like that? They just couldn't talk like that. Like, what would you say to them? Like,
oh my goodness,
how should they learn? I know there's scripts, but
I have done a little bit of like Googling other websites that do, that kind of have that sort of bent to it. So I have done a little bit of that, but it's just about being free, right? And kind of knowing what the person you're talking to wants to hear too. So sometimes it helps to get a little bit of what their personality is, so you understand what they want to hear, right? Because everybody's a little bit different. Trigger words. There's trigger words you can find out and use every once in a while, but just don't worry about it. It's just talk. It's acting. It really is. It's a lot of fun.
It is, and just go with it. Like, go with the flow. Mm-hmm. First time I ever role played, I was like, oh my God. Like, I don't even know what to say, but I'm just like, okay, I'm just going to blank my mind out and I'm just going to go with it. And it came out okay. Yeah. But for me to say it out loud, it's a different thing. Are you good saying it out loud?
Say again?
Are you good, like, saying things out loud? Like, someone asked you to talk naughty to them on the show. Are you pretty good at that?
Yeah, pretty good. Yeah. There's certain things that I was like, I have a certain personality, right? So when I first started, I'd get asked to like do the humiliation thing, right? I'm like, I'm
Yes.
such a nice girl. I don't know if I could do that.
Oh,
I'm getting better at it though.
that's a hard one.
Yeah.
That's really hard.
Yeah.
I get that. I'm like, what do I say? I'm like,
Yeah.
you look bad today? Like, no, you gotta be a little bit better than that.
I don't really need this.
What's your favorite thing when someone comes on to ask you something? What's your, besides role play, anything else you really like to do?
Watch. I just, if you want me to be your witness, I feel honored. Let me be your witness. I love to just watch.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's awesome. Is there anything else you want to add? Anything?
Oh, geez, I don't know. I think
talk about you?
I'm really glad we had an opportunity to talk. I was like, oh, I've been listening to Gary, so I was curious about, who we had fill it in for him or working with him now. I know he's been.
Yeah, I'm going to be co-hosting with him. I did an interview with him on this podcast probably like 3 months ago, and then I'm like, hey, like, I talk to these. You guys are all awesome. Everybody has their own thing, and it's awesome.
Yeah.
Like this podcast is definitely nice because I know when I started, I was like, oh my God, I don't know what to do. And I would Google it and this would come up in the podcast. I'm like, okay, good.
Yeah.
So it's a good resource.
Yeah.
I
think things are going to change. I think the pendulum is swinging, and and we're going to be all right. You know what I'm saying? We're good people. We really are. I was watching a TED Talk by a woman who was an escort and a prostitute kind of a thing. And she was just talking about, what our role really is like, as sex workers, basically.
Yeah.
And we actually have a very important role in society. And for anybody to make us feel small, they just don't understand. And
they're just deflecting.
We're very powerful women. We're very powerful women.
I agree. And when you're doing this, you have to know that.
You
do. You
do.
You have to.
Yeah, you have to appreciate who you are and what your power is.
Yeah. Exactly. Well, hey, it was so nice talking to you.
Nice
and, we'll get this hopefully up in a few days.
Cool.
You can check it out. Guys, don't forget to check her out. She is on Streamate, and she's one hot mama over here. So thank you so much. Need anything in the meantime, just hit us up.
Awesome.
All right.
Thank you.
You enjoy the rest of your day.
You too.
Take care. Thank you.
Bye now.
Bye.